Here we will be covering the benefit cost codes table. Normally we go from the top of the table or screen and work our way down. In this video, we will jump around a little because what we select early on in the benefit cost codes table setup determines what and how we complete the rest of the fields. So what do benefit cost codes do exactly? Well, benefit cost codes define annual benefit costing by benefit code and coverage code. And what that means is, rather than entering a code like we have been doing throughout the series, for this table, we will be selecting a benefit code as the code for this table, entering a description, and then selecting a coverage code to associate with this cost code. Be sure to select the code first because based on what you select here, the coverage code will populate with data based on your selection. So next, let's look at the effective date, which identifies the begin date for the benefit costing. When reviewing this date, consider the pay period effective dates. To remove a cost record from service, it should have a termination date based on payroll periods. In some cases, a terminated benefit cost also has its active checkbox cleared to take the cost record out of service and make it unselectable with the active recs only checkbox selected. Let's look at this important set of option buttons. These will determine the general method for the cost calculations and are sort of a pivot point in how the rest of the table will be completed. The Calc Benefit Cost in Dollars option is calculated based on dollar amounts entered in the annual EE and annual employer cost fields, or dollar amounts entered in the cost bands. Often, medical plan and dental plan costing is in dollars. The Calc Benefit Cost in Percent option is based on percentages. The following fields are interpreted as percentages when this option is selected: the annual EE cost, the annual ER cost, minimum EE cost, minimum ER cost, maximum EE cost, maximum ER cost fields. Some deferred compensation plans have a coverage that needs to be costed as a percentage. The next option is the Calc Benefit Cost by Rule. In this selection, cost is calculated according to cost rule for salary or benefit amount. Costs will be allocated according to percentages entered in the annual employee cost and annual employer cost fields. Cost banding can be activated and applied. Often life insurance costing is by rule code. Let's shift our focus over here for a moment and look at the benefit costs are banded or custom option. If this benefit is cost banded or has costs defined through custom programming, this checkbox in the band custom code should be selected. The band max benefit amount as employee benefit amount option is to make the maximum benefit amount for the applicable cost band applied to the employee's benefit amount and limit for the plan and coverage. Select band max benefit amount as EE benefit amount and costs are banded or custom, and then select the applicable band code. And this here, the calculate coverage increments option, is for a plan with cost bands. Coverage benefit amounts can be defined in increments. By selecting the checkbox for calculate coverage and increments and defining the amount between increments, these type of plans often offer coverage every $1,000, $5,000, or $10,000 between the minimum and maximum benefit amounts. This method requires using a cost band and cannot be used with the band max benefit amount as EE benefit amount feature. Now we will look back up here and start with the deductible amount field. This is optional, and if the plan has a set deductible amount, that can be entered in the deductible amount field here. If the plan has an out-of-pocket maximum, that can be entered as an out-of-pocket maximum for the benefit on the screen. The monthly COBRA premium for this benefit can be entered in the monthly COBRA field. This is also left blank where the benefit code is not COBRA eligible or where the COBRA cost is calculated by a formula and is manually entered on the employee COBRA detail. In the benefit profile area, if this benefit cost only applies to a specific benefit profile, select that benefit profile. Otherwise, leave the benefit profile selection blank. As part of a benefit setup, the benefit code itself should be selected in the benefit profile's new hire profile setup. This is available through the Enterprise Client Program. You may need to talk to your system administrator or account manager about this. When Calc Benefit Cost by Rule is chosen, avoid under or over allocating for a benefit calculated as a percent. The annual EE costs plus the annual ER cost should have a sum equal to 100 when these values are percentages. And here in annual EE cost, the annual employee cost in dollars and cents or as percentages. When no value is entered and for plans with types other than for deferred compensation, FSA, or similar contribution plans, the system interprets a blank or empty value as being 100.00. For no cost or contribution, enter a 0.00. The annual employer cost is dollars and cents or as percentages. For a percentage, this would be the percentage of total cost paid by the employer to provide the benefit to the employee. When no value is entered and for plans with types other than for deferred compensation like FSA or similar contribution plans, the system interprets a blank or empty value as being 100 or 100.00. For no cost or contribution, enter a 0.00. When the values for EE amount and the ER amount are considered percentages versus when they are dollars depends on the selected costing option up here. Review these selections before defining the costs. For dollars, the option is calc benefit cost in dollars, and for percentages, the option is calc benefit cost by rule code. Minimum EE and ER cost. If a minimum applies, enter the employee and or employer's minimum cost or percentages. Also, if that cost is predetermined, entering the cost or 0.00 as the minimum is often recommended. For a max employee cost, if a maximum applies, enter the employee and or employer's maximum cost or percentage. Also, if the cost is predetermined, entering the cost as the maximum is often recommended. The benefit amount can be considered how much an insurance might pay under particular situations. For instance, $50,000 in life insurance coverage would be expected to have a benefit amount of 50,000 in the system. Let's talk about methods to define an annual benefit amount. Enter the plan coverage's benefit amount in the benefit amount field if it is a preset value. This defines a preset benefit amount for the benefit plan and coverage code. If this benefit coverage pays a standard amount per occurrence, enter that amount here. For instance, if a company offered $15,000 of group life insurance coverage, 15000 would be entered in the benefit amount field for that benefit coverage. To set up benefit amount by salary calculation, select this checkbox here, enter the amount multiple, select the salary calc code, and then select the rounding rule. Some AD and D plans are calculated based on salary, divided by a cost rule, and multiplied by a rate factor. A benefit amount is not a cost. The benefit amount can be considered how much an insurance company might pay under particular situations. For instance, a $50,000 life insurance coverage policy would be expected to have a benefit amount of 50,000 in the system. If this benefit coverage pays a standard amount per occurrence, enter that amount here. Also refer to the section of the screen labeled Benefit Amount and Salary Calc. Optionally, define the calculation for the value of the benefit amount based on the rules in the Benefit Amount and Salary Calc section. To calculate benefit amounts based on salary multiplied by an amount multiplier and a cost rule amount, this should be selected. The Salary Calc code determines whether salary calculations for benefit amounts is not calculated, is the current annual salary, is based on the benefits cost user date, or is the salary on the coverage effective date. When salary as of costing user date is selected, salary calculation code also complete the user date field. The rounding rule applies a rounding convention to the benefit amount calculation. Whether it isn't rounded, is the nearest 1,000, next highest 1,000, or is truncated to be the lower 1,000. This is the minimum benefit amount to apply a minimum. This may also be 0.00 or the standard benefit amount if no minimum applies. This is the maximum benefit amount to apply a maximum limit. This may also be the standard benefit amount if the standard benefit amount is also the maximum. Consider plan rules. Regulatory guidelines require an annual limit on the benefit amount. Next up is a benefit costing section. When costs are rated by years, this indicates that cost bands are needed. If the costs are not rated by age or years of service, you can opt to leave rated by age selected and choose 0, not age, or service rated in the next field for age service calculation. The option for rated by age is selected when a plan's costs differ based on an employee or spouse's age. This is also the default selection for whether a plan is costed by age or by years of service. When the corresponding age or service calculation is 0, then age is not a factor in the cost. For costs rated by the employee's number of years of service, click on the Rated by Years of Service option. The way that years are calculated is defined in the Age Service Calculation field. If not rated by age or years of service, select 0, not age or service rated, in the Age Service Calculation field on the benefit cost code. A selected checkbox for costs are banded or custom indicates that cost banding or a custom program applies. Cost bands are often for plans rated by age or years of service. When the checkboxes for band max benefit amount as employee benefit amount and costs are banded or custom are selected along with the cost band, then the maximum benefit amount for the applicable cost band become the benefit amount and benefit amount limit for the employee on the employee benefit detail for the benefit plan and coverage. Most often, this is used for life insurance plans that decrease the benefit amount based on years. For benefits calculated by cost rules, select the cost rule code. The cost rule codes chart indicates what codes calculate which fraction of the salary. Benefit plans costs calculated by cost rule code are calculated as a fraction of the salary or of the benefit amount multiplied by the cost rule amount. Confirm that the option for Calc Benefit Costs by Rule Code is selected in the upper right portion of the screen. A cost rule amount can be defined into the thousandths, such as 1.123, or more rarely is a whole number. When a cost rule amount is used in benefit calculations, it is a multiplier. When the benefit cost setup applies a cost rule, yet no cost rule amount is available, then the system will try to interpret a blank cost rule field amount as 1.00, but it is clearer to enter 1.00 in that case.